No, they hear her say, but sometimes they do. Sometimes they let me do whatever I want. Carol and Richard are asleep by midnight. Their daughter is not. Their door creaks open and the little girl steps in. Her nightdress is an old t-shirt of her father's, and it drags on the floor as she walks, nearly tripping her. Lucy makes her way to her parents' bed, to her mother's side. "Mummy?" Carol makes a small noise. Lucy shakes her on the bed and speaks louder, with more alarm in her voice. "Mummy?" Carol sits up, and so does Richard. He turns the bedside lamp on. "What's wrong, baby?" asks Carol, brushing her hair out of her eyes. Although the sudden light from the lamp hurts the parents' eyes, it does not hurt Lucy's as she has been awake for some time. Lucy climbs into their bed and snuggles up to them, under in the covers. "What's wrong?" Carol asks again. "Mummy, I don't want you or Daddy to go to work tomorrow." "Why?" "Because somebody stabbed a prison officer at Peterhead Prison." Carol and Richard look at each other in shock. "What are you talking about? Where did you hear that from?" "Colin told me." Her parents just stared at her. "He told me that you're going to get stabbed too because you're a mean bastard." Carol hugged her daughter close. Richard was actually an experienced sheriff court judge, and Carol was a corrections officer at HMP Grampian, which holds male and female prisoners, and also young offenders. But Lucy did not understand this and had never been given that sort of detail. Carol and Richard looked at each other, both hoping the other would say something. They realized that their daughter was genuinely afraid because of the way she held her hands close to her chest in a protective instinct. And it did not matter if she was making it all up in her head, she still believed it would happen. "Honey, you have nothing to worry about. I do have a dangerous job, but I am safe. It is my job to keep other people safe. Okay?" Lucy nodded hesitantly, not entirely convinced. She pushed her little face into her mother's chest and refused to let her grip go, even after Carol gently rubbed her back and promised her that she would be okay. "They can kill you," Carol could hear the muffled voice of her daughter. "They do it all the time. Sweetie, the bad guys are locked up and they are watched by police." "No." Lucy shot her head up and looked at both of her parents. "They can kill anyone," Lucy said, with such seriousness and such truth that Carol wanted to curl her own hands to her chest. "It's okay, Lucy. It's okay." Richard hugged both his wife and daughter close, instantly thinking that he needed to monitor everything Lucy ever watched on TV. After a lot more reassuring, Lucy eventually headed back to her room. On her way out, she looked back at her parents one more time before leaving them.